Another member concentrates on steering, while the others react with laughter and excitement. It creates the impression of a group of close friends enjoying a summer adventure rather than global superstars preparing for one of the most important nights of their tour. That contrast is exactly why the fictional scenario becomes so appealing. ARMY often appreciate moments that show a different side of their favorite artists. The stage version of BTS is powerful, confident, and larger than life. The off-stage version, at least in the imagination of fans, can be playful, mischievous, relaxed, and spontaneous. And in Toronto, this fictional story gives fans the opportunity to imagine all of those sides coming together. As the afternoon continues, the city seems far away. The sound of traffic is replaced by the movement of water. The members race playfully across the lake, although there is no serious competition. Every time one jet ski accelerates, another follows. Someone laughs loudly. Someone waves. Someone appears to shout something that disappears beneath the sound of the engines. For a few minutes, the upcoming concert seems almost forgotten. But only almost, because even while relaxing, the members know that thousands of people are waiting for them. In this fictional narrative, one member eventually looks toward the city skyline and realizes that the real adventure is still waiting for them later that evening. The concert, the stadium, the army, the music, the lights, the moment when the first beat begins and the entire venue erupts. That realization changes the mood for a moment. The members know that the day cannot remain carefree forever. They have responsibilities waiting. They have rehearsals to complete, sound checks to prepare for, choreography to review, vocals to warm up, outfits to finalize, and a massive production team working behind the scenes. Yet, that is precisely why the imagined water adventure feels meaningful. It becomes a small pause before a huge moment. The world may expect BTS to be perfect every second, but even the biggest performers need a breath. Even the most experienced artists need laughter. Even a stadium concert can begin with a quiet afternoon by the water. As the fictional story develops, fans begin noticing the image online. At first, some people cannot believe what they are seeing. Is that really BTS? Others ask. Are they in Toronto? Some fans zoom into the picture, looking at every detail. Others immediately begin discussing the location. The image becomes a conversation starter. Some ARMY laugh at the idea of the members racing jet skis before a concert. Others imagine who would be the most competitive. One fan jokes that one member would probably take the activity far too seriously. Another imagines someone screaming every time the jet ski turns sharply. The fictional scenario quickly becomes a celebration of the members' friendship rather than simply an adventure story. And that is where the emotional heart of the story begins. BTS have spent years building a relationship with their audience based not only on music, but also on connection. Fans have watched them grow, travel, laugh, struggle, celebrate, and return to the stage. Every tour creates new memories, and every city adds another chapter. Toronto, in this fictional narrative, becomes a chapter about balance. It is about finding happiness in small moments before stepping into the spotlight. The imagined day on the water reminds fans that behind the massive production, BTS are still 7 people who can enjoy simple experiences together. As the afternoon sun begins to move lower across the sky, the members slowly return toward the shore. The engines become quieter. The waves settle. The excitement of the ride gives way to the practical reality of preparing for the concert. Towels appear. Water bottles are opened. Someone laughs about a moment from earlier. Another member checks the time and realizes that the schedule is moving quickly. The relaxed afternoon is coming to an end. In the fictional story, there is a brief moment when everyone stands together near the water. They look toward Toronto and perhaps imagine what is waiting for them. Somewhere across the city, ARMY are preparing their light sticks. Some are choosing their outfits. Some are taking photographs with friends. Some are standing in lines. Some are already inside the venue. Others are traveling toward the stadium. Every person carries a different story, but they all share the same destination. The members may not know the individual stories of every fan, but they know the collective energy that awaits them. And that thought brings a smile. The group returns to their preparations. The next stage of the day begins. The fictional narrative now shifts from the water to the stadium. The contrast could not be stronger. Outside, Toronto is filled with anticipation. Inside, technicians are checking microphones, lighting systems, giant screens, speakers, and stage mechanisms. Crew members move with precision. Every cable has a purpose. Every light must work. Every camera angle has been considered. Every transition has been rehearsed. Behind the scenes, hundreds of people contribute to the performance. BTS may be the faces on stage, but an enormous team works behind them. In the fictional story, the members arrive at the venue after their brief break. The atmosphere changes immediately. The relaxed mood remains, but professional focus returns. They walk through the backstage corridors, greet members of the crew, review the schedule, and prepare for sound check. This is where the imagined story becomes particularly interesting. The same members who were laughing on jet skis earlier are now standing in a massive stadium preparing for a performance watched by thousands. The transition is almost cinematic. One moment, blue water and sunshine. The next, stage lights and microphones. One moment, casual summer clothes. The next, performance preparation. It demonstrates the extraordinary contrast between an artist's private downtime and public performance. The sound check begins in the fictional narrative. The stadium is not yet full, but the energy is already building. A few fans with VIP access may be waiting for their opportunity to see the members before the main show. The empty sections of the stadium create an unusual atmosphere. Without the full audience, the venue feels enormous and almost silent. Then a microphone is tested. A voice echoes across the stadium. The sound travels through the empty seats, creating a preview of what is about to happen later. The members review vocal levels and monitor systems. A few jokes break the seriousness of the rehearsal. Someone dances briefly. Another member laughs. The professionalism remains, but the mood is not overly tense. They have done this many times. Yet every city is different. Every audience is different. Every night carries a unique energy. Toronto will be no exception. In the fictional story, one member mentions how beautiful the city looks from the venue. Another talks about the water adventure from earlier. The group laughs again. It becomes an inside joke that may never be shared publicly. And perhaps that is what makes moments like this special. Fans see the performance, but there are countless small interactions they never witness. A joke backstage, a shared look, a laugh between songs, a quiet conversation before going on stage. These moments form the invisible history of a concert. As sound check continues, the fictional story imagines ARMY reacting emotionally. Some fans have traveled for hours just to be inside the stadium. Others have waited months. Some may be seeing BTS live for the first time. For them, the sound check is not merely a technical rehearsal. It is a once-in-a-lifetime memory. The members may be performing familiar songs, but for someone in the audience, hearing those songs live for the first time can feel overwhelming. The anticipation grows with every minute. Outside the venue, more fans arrive. Purple lights begin appearing throughout the surrounding streets. The city feels different. Toronto is no longer simply Toronto. For one night, it becomes an ARMY gathering place. Friends meet. Strangers exchange bracelets. Fans trade photo cards. People take pictures. Some sing songs together while waiting. Others talk about their favorite BTS eras. The atmosphere becomes a celebration of community. In this fictional story, the earlier water adventure becomes almost symbolic. The members had their moment of freedom, and now the fans are creating their own moments of freedom and friendship around the stadium. The concert has not even started, yet memories are already being made. As the sun begins to disappear, the stadium lights become more visible. The sky changes color. The crowd grows louder. Security teams guide people through entrances. Vendors sell merchandise. Phones come out. Light sticks begin to glow. The anticipation becomes almost physical. People can feel that something is about to happen. Backstage, the members are preparing for the final moments before the show. Costumes are ready. Microphones are checked one final time. In-ear monitors are tested. Staff members move quickly. A stage manager gives instructions. The members gather together. There may be a final group discussion. Perhaps someone says something funny to reduce the tension. Perhaps they remind each other to enjoy the night. Perhaps they simply stand together quietly. Whatever happens, the fictional story emphasizes one thing. They are ready. Then the lights in the stadium begin to change. The audience recognizes the signal immediately. A roar rises from the crowd. Thousands of voices become one sound. The opening video begins. The giant screens illuminate the stadium. Fans lift their light sticks. The first notes appear. And suddenly, the playful afternoon by the water feels like a distant memory. BTS step onto the stage. The reaction is immediate. Toronto erupts. The fictional narrative now becomes a story about the power of live performance. The members move across the stage with confidence. Their choreography fills the space. Their voices travel across the stadium. Every camera captures another angle. Every screen shows another expression. The audience sings along. Songs that fans have listened to through headphones for years now exist in the same physical space